Good morning.
Good morning.
Chubby Checker is not his real name. And I don't remember what it is, but do you know where he got his name from?
Probably an abusive parent who's like, "You're chubby."
No.
Okay.
It's a takeoff of Fats Domino.
Oh, right. I never thought about that. Yeah.
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 Now, the song "The Stroll" by the Diamonds, that was a cover. The original was done by Chuck Willis.
Let me ask you but I think the Diamonds had a big hit with it.
They made it bigger.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those things back when some of the stations wouldn't play black artists.
Yeah.
And Chuck Willis was black. So most of the Diamond songs were covers of somebody else.
Here's a question for you. Interesting. Chuck Willis, one of the great Chuck Willis songs was...
Well, besides...
Many, but CC Rider, his version of CC Rider is just the best.
Yeah.
Okay, that to be said. Also, Chubby Checker's records were on what record label?
Chess.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Chubby Checker's records were on, his music was on the Chess label.
I got something from...
And here's a question for you, and this is completely unrelated. You know, Muhammad Ali is in the news right now. Whose real name was Ernest Evans?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
That's Chubby Checker's real name. I was kind of throwing you. I was throwing you. I got to go, Tom. Thanks. Good stuff,
look, don't go away. Got something from Friday.
Okay. I'm going to put you on hold because I have somebody waiting on me right now. Andrew, get him. We'll take him in a second. Listen, you're working with somebody at work that is a workaholic. Do we know anybody? I have a feeling that there are many of us that are guilty of this. And the word is, if you really are a workaholic, there's a good chance that you might have a psychiatric disorder. Michael Ray Newman is on the line right now. Michael, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good. So, 4 psychiatric disorders common in workaholics. What do we know?
We know we're finding this to be true. A Gallup poll came out last year, and it said 7 out of 10 employees in the workforce are disengaged.
And disengaged as in with their coworkers, and just in general disengaged.
Work in general. If you think about a 10-seater bicycle, you've got 3 guys at the front pedaling like crazy. Those are your workaholics. And then you have there's 2 people of those 10 that are disengaged actively. So if you think about the end of the bicycle, people are putting the brakes on, and the other 5 are just coasting. And you get points to some people are out. Those workaholics are the 3 up front pedaling like crazy, and they get burnt out, and then they turn into those ones that are disengaged.
Oh, so even the workaholics become disengaged.
That's a very good possibility. Yes.
Yeah, because they get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. So it says here you might be more likely to suffer from OCD, anxiety, and depression if you are a workaholic.
We've found that to be true. And the worst, and then a lot of times they say what we need to do is force them to take their vacation, force them to take their pay. That's the worst thing you can do for somebody who is always engaged, always needing to work, always needing to, the ADD overachievers is what a lot of my mama called me.
But it sounds like those workaholics are the ones that are running the ship. They're keeping the ship afloat.
Yeah, a lot of times they are, but what you do is you burn them out quicker, and what you create right now, it's all about culture and trying to nurture that kind of culture where you have a positive environment, and it's just not very healthy to do that because then you're always having the leadership is changing even within the lower ranks.
And it says more than a quarter of the workaholics were not really workaholics at all. They're really just they are OCD.
I'm not there is a lot, you see a lot of those tendencies.
Yeah.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right.
We don't really know about that.
Right.
The good thing to do, what we found though, is just to refocus these guys in a few different areas of life, and then that helps a lot.
Yeah. Do you make them take their vacation time though?
I think in a lot of cases, what we find, we do a lot of training on this, and that's the worst thing you want to do is just say, take vacation, we're not going to help you. The best thing to do as far as a workforce is to do, or an owner or a boss or a manager, is to there's 7 areas of life that Mr. Ziegler talks about in the balance, and if you can get them to keep that same intensity, but put it towards different areas of their life, their home, their family, their physical, their faith. If you'll do that, what you'll do is put that same energy. You'll get a better worker because they're more engaged at home and they're happier. So you also have, and the longevity of that worker turns into much happier, much more engaged, and more work.
Andrew.
All right, so our host, who you're talking to right now, when he was on vacation, brought equipment and broadcast from down there. So I'm just saying, I don't think it's a workaholic thing.
I was the only radio host during spring break that broadcast every morning from 6 till 9.
Right,
so.
but from what Michael Ray is saying is that's okay.
Right, I believe. I mean, you're
if
right.
He had just gone,
bro. That means you have a passion. You're definitely love what you do. But you can take it with you. I mean, it's a balance now. We talk about balance in life. Balance doesn't come 9 to 5 anymore, where you work in 9 hours, you go home, eat dinner with the family. That kind of balance. We have balance comes in season. I mean, you're on vacation with your family. What keeps you balanced is putting that effort in at work, and then you're more engaged at home.
Listen, my wife makes me take vacation time, and because I used to not, and now I take every ounce of it. But so I just take along the equipment and still do the show. I'm still on vacation, but I'm still doing the show, so I'm not on vacation. I've tricked my employer. I've tricked my wife. Everything's good. All right.
You found the loophole, man. You got it figured out.
And then
the loophole.
One of the 4 is multiple personality disorders. So
we'll get to that. We can get to that in another show. Michael Ray Newman, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Brother, call me if you need me.
Thanks, which we might just. Birthdays here today for June 6th, Monday, June 6th. John Lipinski in New York Mills is celebrating today. Vicky Mayer in Boonville, or Vicky Marr. I'm not sure how Vicky pronounces that, but she's in Boonville and celebrating. Belated birthday, Teresa Crasto in Utica, and Regina Baker in Frankfort, celebrating from over the weekend. Birthdays, get them on the air by going to our news site at WIBX950.com or send in a postcard, WIBX Birthdays, 9418 River Road, Marcy, 13403. And the cake will go to John Lipinski, Lupinske. I hope I pronounced that properly in New York Mills. But, John, you get the cake from the Florentine Pastry Shop on Bleecker Street in Utica. Christine has news next on WIBX.